especially from the youth levels, building it up. So if not next year, years to come.
Yeah, because they're the under 14 coach. They didn't mention that.
And you should be there for a while.
Yes, for a while.
All right, thank you for joining us.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, man, no problem.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's a live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yeah.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central. Where it all begins. The quest to become great. Inspired by those who went before them, these four boys dream of playing in the ISSA schoolboy football competitions.
Will you score this for Casey? Will you score? It's a shot, it's a goal!
And it's a shot, and it's a goal! And Casey has won the Manning Cup, and they will play Clarendon College in the Olivia Shield. And that's what you love to see. They may be rivals, but the camaraderie is what it's all about. Can't wait for the final.
When the bus the man, I want to watch my son play finals for CBM, you know.
But mums, you can't watch it on CBM website, man.
Come on, my son score, my son score, my son score, my son score.
Greatness begins here.
Every dream conquered is another dream gained. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction. 'Cause I'm closer, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music is to play, and the people that must say we are my show tonight. Oh, what a feeling! Don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got a spark, don't fit the dark, shine your lights on.
CVM Television is the official broadcaster of ISSA Schoolboy Football 2025. Unauthorized recording, broadcast or streaming of matches or related events is strictly prohibited.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
High School Pitchside, brought to you by KFC, Catch, Ping Pong, Water, Powerade, True Shake, Pringles.
Let's delve deep into the issues. we'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orvin Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Every dream conquered is another dream game. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction. 'Cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music hits I play, and the people them I say we are my show tonight. Oh, what a feeling! Don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got the spark, don't fit the dark. Shine your lights
CVM Television is the official broadcaster of Issa Schoolboy Football 2025. Unauthorized recording, broadcast, or streaming of matches or related events is strictly prohibited. CVM Sports Issa Schoolboy Football is brought to you by KFC, Ping Pong, Catch, Water, Pringles, True Shake, Powerade, Burt's Auto Parts.
Season's greetings to our viewers, and 'tis the season for more Issa Schoolboy football. We're here at the National Stadium where the stage is set for today's Walker Cup final. I'm your host, Janae Robinson, and you know me as the Sports Girlie. Now we have two teams 90 minutes away from silverware. On one hand, we have Mona High, who has a strong tradition, defending champions of this title, competing against St. Catherine High, who will be looking to defy history and write a new chapter. Now, finals are not just about form, and this final will be proving mentality, moments, and who rises when it matters the most. Now, I only had the chance to talk to the manager of Mona High. We didn't get to talk to anybody from the management of St. Catherine. Let's hear what she has to say. And there, apologize. What do you mean? I don't understand. Apologies for that. Well, you've heard from the manager of Mona High, really wanting this one for her father. Now we have to switch our attention to some football, and as usual, I'll send it to my commentary team, who will have Leger Williams and Gerard Morrisili.
Rusty, before go over so now.
finals, a reminder that fate has memory. 4 seasons on, it places them back where they all once began. The defending champions step forward, chasing history, seeking to reclaim their crown and join a select few, just 5 schools, who have ever lifted the Walker Cup in back-to-back years. Across from them stand St. Catherine, battle-hardened and flinching, playing not just for today, but to carve their name as the dominant Walker Cup force of this decade. Same stage, same stakes, a rivalry reborn. Finals day decides who owns the moment and who owns the era. It's a curtain raiser for finals day in the urban area schoolboy football, the Walker Cup. And the delegation there led by ISA President Keith Wellington greet both the teams. He meets St. Catherine now. And in a few, we'll have kickoff. My name is Gerard Morrisili. I'm alongside Lejay Williams. Lejay, your initial thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a goal-laden matchup, that's for sure. Everything that we've seen so far from both of these schools in the Walker Cup so far points to that. When you look at St. Catherine and their journey so far, 3 games, a round of 16, the quarter-final and the semi-final, those games have included 19 goals cumulatively. But Mona, they're not far off. Their 3 games in those stages have also seen 16 goals. So everything that we've seen so far from these teams points to goals, and a lot of them. And I'm certainly looking forward to that being the leading, let's say the leading light of this curtain raiser, a very exciting goal-laden contest.
Yeah, it should be an exciting one. Mona, they're led by their talisman, Sean Layton, 27 goals this season, 23 in the Manning Cup, leading goal scorer. They are going to rely on Dwight Gentles. St. Catherine High, who were very close last season to capturing their first Manning Cup ever. They fell short. Mona, their defending champions, coming into this one, they'll hope that they can win back their title and, of course, deliver the goods again for their school. Mona Pride, that's the slogan for that team. St. Catherine, with a parish on their shoulders, want to reclaim a crown that they won twice before, 2019 and in 2021, the final played in 22. The COVID season, we like to call it. They are looking forward to seeing what they can produce, bringing back a trophy and winning their second for the decade. We're moments away from kickoff as the captains meet for the toss. And they pause for a Kodak moment. Well, that's what they called it years ago, Lejay. It's just a photograph now. Almost time for kickoff here now. Of course, this is the first of 2 finals here in the urban area. First one, the Walker Cup. Later on, we'll have the Manning Cup between Excelsior and Jamaica College. Off we go. Mona get us on the way. And they come forward early. Skylar McFarlane there was on the run, and it'll be defended by Jordan Matthias. Devraj Singh is back on the starting lineup for Mona High after a red card against Hideout.
It is a sweltering day here at the National Stadium in Kingston. Not quite sure if that will affect what we see in terms of the pace of the game, especially considering that both of these two teams like to play a quick style, a lot of transitions, but this heat, I'm sure it will affect the players, the referees, even the commentators at that. So certainly something to bear in mind as this game progresses.
Yeah, it is really hot here. You and I were talking earlier, Lejay, and you did say, man, it's December. But it feels as if we're in July.
Yeah, certainly not what we're used to at this time of year, especially the past few weeks, I would say the past month or so. It's been, quite calm. The temperatures have been good. But it seems as if the sun is making up for lost time, considering that we did experience a hurricane. We did miss out on a lot of football. Mona currently playing with 10 men. I see one of their players, Jonaldo Payne, running back to the locker room to change something on his kit. Referee sent him away. He's going to be jogging back towards the pitch shortly. St. Catherine unable to take advantage of that, however, and it's Mona in possession nonetheless.
Both these teams coming into this game 3-2 winners in their respective semi-finals. St. Catherine 3-2 over Kingston College, a grudge match, repeat of the Manning Cup final last season. As a foul comes in on Skylar McFarlane. Second foul, he's won.
Yeah, and this can give Mona an early opportunity to get something on target, as we see St. Catherine, their bench and their coaching staff, including Anthony Patrick, who is a 3-time winner of this competition, twice with St. Catherine High, once with Bridgeport back in 2001. Decorated coach at this level, looking to add something more to his repertoire today. But his team have to defend this Mona free kick.
Shot comes in and is punched over the net there by Trinity St. John McDonald. So some early threats for the goalkeeper. Some work for him to do.
Yeah, didn't quite do it cleanly, but he'll be looking to make amends on this corner kick. Quite an unnecessary one to give up, I would say.
Does go for a corner. Looks as if it's... Here's another look at that one. And tipped over. This one comes in. And just like that, Mona opened the scoring. The man who's back into the team after serving a match ban delivers first strike. Devraj Singh with the header. Mona go 1-0 up.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they would have needed to raise the spirits of this team. The team that lifted this trophy just a season ago, they're back in the final. And they've called on something that they've used throughout the season to devastating effect. Set pieces, corner kicks. Completely unmarked was Devraj Singh. And he took that invitation with aplomb. Excellent header. Down. Difficult for the goalkeeper to get anything meaningful on it, and it was his mistake initially that gave up the corner. And Mona, they pounced. They're 1-0 up early in this Walker Cup final.
Good goal. And it looks as if Ronaldo Payne has been sent to deliver a message to his coaches. In fact, he's sent to the bench. So
Yeah, the same kit issue that he would have had earlier in the game. He would have thought that he fixed it, but still something to adjust. Exactly the start that Mona would have wanted in this game. Quick, getting a goal early. And I think it sets up exactly what we would have predicted before kickoff, that this will be a goal-laden affair. These two teams know nothing else in schoolboy football.
yeah, it took them just 5 minutes to get their first goal in the quarterfinal against Hydel. They had an early goal as well against Charlie Smith in their semi-final. So it's something that we've grown accustomed to seeing from this Mona team. The question is, how well will they be able to defend that lead? Even if ever so slight. This is a final, so you want to be clinical. That pass wasn't cleared away properly, and shot comes in wide from Savike Morton. 9 goals he has this season.
And it seems as if they've spotted a weakness in St. Catherine High, and their custodian very eager to take shots on no matter the distance.
Coming down the right hand side is Ronaldo Stewart. He's taken down and dispossessed. Ball comes up the other way now. Mona, they have it, looking for Sean Layton, the captain. Layton still with it. Loses it now. St. Catherine, they get possession. Looking for Stewart on the right hand side. Stewart gets it. Tries to make a run here. He's tackled by McCarthy.
Yeah, challenges flying in over there on the far side, well, our near side.
Layton again making a run. Gets through them. He's all in on his own and takes a shot, probably a little bit too early. Could have probably taken a touch or two again, and McDonald, easy work for him.
Yeah, especially on his weaker side, trying to lob the goalkeeper there. But a man that has scored so many goals in so many variations, difficult to argue whenever he thinks it's accurate and time to take a pop at goal. St. Catherine looking to take a pop now.
At top of the box there, they're trying to find a shot. One finally comes in weak from Antoine Marshall. St. Catherine here still trying to find back the equalizer. They hope they can pull it back early enough. Here comes Layton again. He was almost tackled, but he somehow keeps possession. Layton, now he's dispossessed.
Yeah, got the ball stuck under his foot a bit as he was trying to dribble away there. Taking some time before getting back on his feet, and he's down now. Is the Mona skipper. Here it is once more. It was a clean tackle coming in. Maybe the landing would have shaken him up a bit. Going to get some assistance now.
Yeah, the Mona cheerleaders are in the stadium. Of course, it will fill up progressively. big match later on. Not to mention, this is a big game in itself, a final, a chance for these teams who, well, there's the cheerleaders. And they were the loudest when the goal was scored by Singh. I've won 3 of the last 6 games that these teams have, the last 5 games that these teams have played against each other. The other 2 are draws, so St. Catherine still have a lot of work to do to get past this Mona team. Of course, they won that 21-22 final. Here we go again. That shot there from long distance, and Gentles goes wide.
Foul going the way of Mona there. Again, Sean Layton, the man involved. Certainly been in the war so far in this game, but he's won his team a very promising set piece. Got the better of his defender there for pace and did well to get himself in between man and ball. And Mona now presented with yet another dangerous set piece opportunity.
McCarthy standing over this one. 3-man wall here for St. Catherine High. McDonald in goal trying to sort out his charges. This one comes in, whipped into the box, and finally cleared away by Timothy Jones. Aerial battle here in the midfield. McFarlane comes out with it. And McDonald picks up. So St. Catherine will look to reset their attack and try to get themselves forward and take a couple shots of their own.
Yeah, it seems to me that St. Catherine have come out a little bit flat in this game so far. Mona seem first to every second ball. The passes aren't sharp so far from Mona either. From St. Catherine either, I beg your pardon. So yet to really get their momentum going in this game. And St. Catherine are a team that plays some pretty fluid stuff when they're unsung. So it'd be good for them to get unsung sooner rather than later, as Kadeen Young dribbles that one out of play.
Yeah, Young was almost through on that left-hand side and trying to whip across in, but one touch too many, and the last one a bit too heavy. Got away from him. This one comes out now. Singh. Mona would keep possession. There's a goal scorer. Throw to Layton. He's well defended by to Shane Riley. St. Catherine with a throw now. And that one almost through. Limited work for Howard Robinson to do. Singh does well. Coming up with it was Demario Brown. Brown to McFarlane. McFarlane gives it to Wallace. Was trying to play that one through.
Yeah, he and Savvy K. Morton weren't on the same page on that occasion. Pass was a bit wayward regardless, but St. Catherine again looking to launch an attack. Just lackadaisically letting that one bounce before getting into that duel. So again, more evidence of St. Catherine starting a bit slowly in this game. Maybe they just need a moment to settle and really get things going.
St. Catherine, they have a throw now. Monsieur Perez Henry with ball in hand. Leighton. Here comes Young with a shot, and it's wide. No threat for Robinson.
Yeah, it took a heavy deflection, shaping up to be St. Catherine's first corner of the afternoon. It will be Riley to trot across and take this one, an in-swinger from that right-hand side.
This one swung towards the back post. Head towards goal. A goal kick in the end for Mona. Long ball searching for Singh. Cleared away by the captain. McFarlane is taken down. Another foul to Antoine Marshall.
Yeah, they're really piling up at this point. Mona take this one short.
Trying to find Morton. Went a little bit past him, and instead the shot came in from Leighton himself.
Yeah, it was a decent volleyed attempt, but offside called on that far side. Right hand side for Mona. Sean Leighton tends to just pop up wherever needed for this Mona team. Started through the center of the attack, now has shifted over to this right hand side. And Catherine looking to get some momentum going now. Leighton down once more after trying to put in that challenge. Awkward landing for him, I believe.
Yeah, he'll need some medical attention here. Here comes St. Catherine. Ball played out to Stewart, and it's stripped away. McCarthy comes back the other way with it. Gives it off to Singh. Singh won't catch that one. It wasn't a bad pass, you know. Singh just not reading the play there.
It hasn't been a frantic pace to the game that we're used to from these teams. As we mentioned before, the conditions would play a significant part in that. That's really what we're experiencing so far. I'm sure it's extremely difficult for these young men, especially considering the season that they've had. And bear in mind, these two teams would have played a ridiculous amount of football this week in particular. They would have played on Monday, Wednesday, and now today. So 3 matches within the space of 5 days for these two teams. So surely must take a toll on the body. And then to come and play the final in sweltering heat on a bigger pitch here at the National Stadium, always going to be difficult.
And that's the captain go on this runner. You know, it's not really a fault of the organizers. I mean, we did have a long 5-week break, passage of Hurricane Melissa, which may not have affected the urban area schools as much as it did the rural, but you know, you had to take all things into consideration while planning a restart of this tournament. Here's Matthias. He's trying to find a pass to Marlon Jones eventually, and there's the equalizer. St. Catherine all square. Dwight Gentiles again. 1-1.
Yeah, for seasons now, he's been popping up with extremely important goals for the St. Catherine team. And he's done it once more, Dwight Gentles. That young man from Spanish Town has such sharp instincts in and around the box, and he was just across, stabbed in the direction of him. But he gambled that the defender would not get that header. And he certainly got his and directed it expertly into the back of the net. We expected goals. It's 1-1 now, 2 in the game, with surely more to come.
Here we go again, Mona. How will they respond? Couldn't get through there to find Singh. Offside, he's called now, Gentles. Ball sent out wide on the right hand side. Cut in. Savike Morton was looking to play that one inside for Leighton. Cleared away. They get it back though. Morton will look to run this one into the box again. Squares it. Again, not clearly defended, but well enough from Timothy Jones to avert the danger.
It took a few attempts. But eventually got the job done, did St. Catherine. That's going to be a foul, as St. Catherine surely have found their feet in this contest now.
Stewart is sent on a run. Won't get there. Goal kick for Mona. Yeah, squat here. And he's going to the referee's book, Nathaniel McCarthy. Just kicking the ball after it went out and it actually hit Stewart. So any player would retaliate at that.
Yeah, clearly intentional as well. So a yellow card for Mona's number 11. Nothing in the way of a yellow card for Stewart, St. Catherine's number 7. Surely something to look out for that duel for the rest of the game, the left back versus the right winger. Chance that one for Mona. Devrat Singh again stealing in at that far post as Sean Layton whipped that one in. Somehow he didn't convert for a second of the game.
Yeah, that was laid on a platter for him. Should have done well, I guess. Positioning in that case was worked in favor for McDonald. Here they come again, St. Catherine, and that one goes out to touch. Marlon Jones. Jones passes this one inside the box. Comes away there, no danger. Gentles again.
Yeah, once again he was the sharpest man in the box. Mona this time with some haphazard defending. It fell to Gentles, but there was a Mona body in his way, preventing him from slotting home his second of the game. Another cross from that right-hand side, which he contested initially. And in the end, it was a crucial block coming in to keep this game at one apiece.
This one swung in low, cleared away by McCarthy. That's going to be the mood all evening. They're going to dance the afternoon away. Long throw.
In corner coming up for St. Catherine High. Kadeem Young the one to take. Usually has a very ferocious delivery on him. First corner wasn't that. Let's see if he can do a little better with this one.
Takes it short. Sent for Matthias, who's on the edge of the box. Took a shot and it was cleared away by Singh.
Yeah, I don't think that he wanted that one in his left foot, did Matthias. His ball control let him down, and in the end, when he was being rushed and hurried, led to him taking a tame shot. Yeah, that's going to be a foul heading the way of St. Catherine, who have been, I would say, the dominant force since scoring their goal.
Here come Mona. Morton with the ball, trying to pass it forward for Leighton or McFarlane. Instead, it ends up with Stewart, who tries to find Gentles in the middle of the park and goes back to Mona. Not cleared away properly there by Shane Riley. Goes all the way back. Leighton is pressing. Just gets it out to Marlon Jones in time, does McDonald. Good turn there by McFarlane, who lets loose Devraj Singh on the left-hand side. He has 3 to aim for in the box. Leighton is on the end of it almost. Played away, Matthias does well. Here comes Stewart again. Stewart, acres of space to run into. But somehow he's broken down by Demario Brown. Marshall decides to go on a solo run, passes it off and gets it back almost. Not the best of passes though, he felt he had a clear passage into the box. Miles of space, and if that fell to his foot, could have been dangerous.
Yeah, Mona really living dangerously defensively. That's gonna be a foul. Tough collision in the middle of the park. Wallace Ramona was the one who impeded the St. Catherine player. Josh Reed it was. Anthony Patrick very animated on the bench. Not what we're used to seeing actually from him, but certainly something that he doesn't like from his team so far in this game.
Trying to find Singh. Instead it falls to Marlon Jones, and there's a tackle on Demario Brown. Mona with a free kick here in a pretty dangerous space. It could go for goal here.
Yeah, and immediately you see the intention of Sean Leighton wanting to stand over this one, but rank has been drawn and it looks as if it's going to be the left foot of Nathaniel McCarthy to line this one up. Taking quite the run up as well.
McCarthy just chips this one inside, and there's a lovely header there by Leighton, who rose above everyone else and was just wide.
Yeah, I think he knows he should have done better there, Sean Leighton. It's difficult for him to find an equal in terms of height and leap whenever a ball is passed into the box. And so said, so done, practically unmarked. And really should have been finding the target with that attempt.
Yeah, glorious chance for Mona to go 2 up there. 2-1 up. Passed out wide and collected instead by Laquan Allen. Allen can't get past to continue his run. Sent out wide for Young. Young puts this one back into the box and Gentles has to. There's nothing gentle about what he's doing to Mona. Lethal. 2-1.
And it looks as if he came prepared to score quite a few goals, because he has a celebration prepared for each. Fox in the box, Dwight Gentles. Mona with a turnover. St. Catherine counter-attacking to devastating effect. Was one pass following winning the ball back down the left-hand side. Kadeen Young sprinting and just putting that one up for Gentles, who had all the time in the world to pick his spot, and quite a spot to pick as well. An empty goal for him, and he moves to 16 on the season, 2 on the day, and it's 2 on the day for St. Catherine as they take the lead in the Walker Cup final.
just like that. St. Catherine showing why they've won this trophy twice in this new decade. Early change here for Mona.
Cavante Phipps has made his way on, replacing Skylar McFarlane. So the man who got the assist for Mona's goal has been taken off. Of course, it's not obscure to see Mona making changes early or at early junctures in games. Didn't expect that one, however, immediately after the concession of a goal. But St. Catherine looking to turn the screw even more now. But that's a loose touch in the middle of the park and then a foul. There's going to be a yellow card as well. Antoine Marshall, the recipient of that one for St. Catherine.
Free kick taken. Signaling intended target. Headed away. Falls to Young. Battling for it is Antoine Marshall. Looking for Leighton. McDonald as well. Stewart. Lost control of it momentarily, Matthias. Would have been a wonderful pass to Young. Young gets it back though. He has Gentles to aim for. That challenge waved off. And Antoine Marshall can't keep it in play. Mona will have the throw. First touch on the ball for the substitute. Not a good pass though. Offside is Gentles. Third time he's been called offside. Matthias does well to cut into that pass and steal possession. He was trying to pass to Stewart on the right, but not good. Looking for Leighton. Leighton takes it down beautifully. Cuts inside, cuts again, dancing away from the challenges, and the shot with a weaker left foot is no good. Blocked. But Mona, they get it back.
Maybe one cut too many there. I think the angle had worked for him on his stronger right foot. Opted for just one more cut. And in the end, couldn't get an accurate shot off. And if Mona are going to get back level in this game at minimum, he's going to have to be a big part of it, Sean Leighton. It's a decent pass over the top, but it was good control. He drove into the box, isolated his man well. Cut one there, but I think there he needed to get his shot off. A couple of players getting treatment across the pitch. I did mention the heat is going to make it extremely difficult for these players. I am mentioning the heat a lot, and you're probably saying, yeah, they're playing this heat all the time, but on a pitch this expansive here at the National Stadium, the amount of ground they have to cover is not what they're used to playing on across the island, for most teams at least. also the sun is directly in Gerard's and I eyes. So maybe I'm just being a bit salty, but nonetheless it's a high quality football game with a lot of chances, a lot of goals being scored. We did expect a lot of goals. We've gotten through already in the first half. Both teams cumulatively averaging 5 goals plus in their Walker Cup games so far this season, so hopefully more to come as well in the remainder of the first half and the second half as well. Mona looking to add the next one for sure.
Foul, and St. Catherine will get the ball back, a free kick awarded to them. It looks as if Reed would need some attention. It seems as if there was a yellow card shown. That was earlier. But yeah, legit, it is really hot out here. Different, something that we're not used to in this month.
And the thing is with the heat, usually at this time of year, all right, you get some heat, you get some hot days, but it's usually preparing you almost for a bit of rainfall. It doesn't even seem as if there's a rain cloud in the sky as we look back on the goals. Devraj Singh the first. That header from a corner pretty early in the contest. And Mona, they were off to a flying start after that header, unmarked header as a matter of fact. But St. Catherine, they would get back into the game in due course. Ball just prodded into the box, and another header came the way, but this time of St. Catherine and Dwight Gentles, and he steered it home perfectly. And shortly after that, he would get another header. So 3 headers scored in the game so far. Kadeen Young this time putting it on a plate for Gentles, probably the easiest header of the lot.
That one goes out, and St. Catherine will keep possession. They get a throw here. Marlon Jones to take this one. Foul throw. Free kick awarded for Mona. McCarthy stands behind this one. A resident dead ball specialist for this team. Chips this one inside and falls to the substitute. Thinking of a shot, instead he goes to try to find Jonado Payne, who is forced to run it out of bounds and giving a goal kick to St. Catherine. Who'll be hoping and quite comfortable to take this 2-1 lead into the break. Did see Coach Patrick on the sidelines, very animated, so he is usually a calm customer, but it just shows you how important this victory would be to him. Leighton out wide. Gets it back, Leighton. Tries to square it. Didn't reach his intended target. Stewart now comes away with it the other way. Into the middle of the field, and that toe poke to Young is no good. Leighton, he gets it back. Dancing, showing a bit of foot skill here. And McDonald straight into his teammate's face. It falls to Singh. And McDonald does well to get back and hang on to that one.
He's really been living dangerously in this first half, McDonald. But on that occasion, he and his team survived. Somehow kept out Mona once more, but they're on the attack again.
He's dominating, but that challenge is waved off. Almost got through there to Devraj Singh. Phipps can't control that one. St. Catherine, they keep it. Reed sends a pass to Young. That goes off him and rolls out. Late challenge, foul on Singh.
You can see Anthony Patrick again. Absolutely incensed over there on the bench. And he's actually getting a yellow card for his troubles now. Anthony Patrick kicked over a plethora of water bottles after that mistake from his team. I haven't seen him like this since the early 2000s.
Yeah, this one means a lot to him, obviously. The thing about it is that he's picking them up.
Or maybe just one for him to drink. He probably exhausted quite a bit of energy.
5 minutes added. Free kick for Mona. Headed away. Still in the air. Mona, they still have it. Payne loses it. Leighton picks it up. Runs into the middle. Tries to find a shot there. It's blocked. Gets it back with the left foot. McDonald again is there. Impenetrative. He has been since conceded. Here come Mona. They're still searching for the equalizer to take into the break. Cleared away by Riley. Going on a run here. Janado Payne. Singh. Shot comes in, and that's a ferocious strike by Sabi K. Morton. Just wide though. Here's a look at that shot again. Just lots of leather behind that. Stewart down the right hand side. Can he square this one? He's brought down. He's fighting for possession. No foul called, and he's dispossessed. Phipps looking for Leighton. Matthias does the defending well. Looking for Young. Tackle by Allen. St. Catherine, they hold on to possession. That one cleared away. But more than they come the other way with it. Leighton on the left-hand side. Darcis gets a shot off, and that's a good save there by McDonald. Outstretched fully. Did well to hang on. Well, that's it for the first half of the Walker Cup final. The curtain raiser of this finals day. of the urban area. A slight advantage for St. Catherine. The Light Blues, they lead after falling 1 goal down early in this first half. They threw that man on the right of the screen. Put the man on his back, Dwayne. 1, put 2 back. And now they hold the advantage going into the break. 2-1 at halftime.
This is Jamaica's season for giving thanks for what matters. It's the time to show up, be there for each other, and to feed our hope for a brighter tomorrow. Celebrate being together with a KFC festive feast. Get the new festive 9 bucket. Proceeds from each festive feast purchase go towards hurricane relief. KFC is finger licking good.
The Chris and Charles Merry Money Mania loan promotion. This Christmas, borrow big and win bigger. Get $1.5 million or $2 million in loans at special reduced rates, plus a chance to win your share of $1 million. And new customers get double entries. The promotion runs from October 15 and is now extended to January 30, 2026. Visit any Chris and Charles branch or chrisandcharles.com for details. Chris and Charles, making life merry again. Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Crispy, creamy, what a catch, so tasty. What a catch, with a caramel center. What a catch, and so much chocolate, ooh yeah. First it's crispy, then it's creamy, with so much chocolate, smooth and milky. And when you go a little deeper, you find caramel, ooh yeah. What a catch, oh, what a catch, you know we love you. What a catch, oh. First it's crispy, then it's creamy.
Team, we need to pass the ball quicker, much quicker. And you need to make sure. I'm the coach. And I'm the assistant coach. No. Your job is to bring the water and keep us hydrated. Matter of fact, where's the water? I've got it, coach.
Final is taking place here between Mona High and St. Catherine. St. Catherine, the Light Blues, they lead by 2-1 at the break. And it was a tremendous first half, 3 goals in it. Mona, they came out with all guns blazing. Both teams just a little bit under the high-paced football that we're accustomed to seeing them. But even though that was the case, it didn't take long for Mona to get a goal in. The first one coming from this corner. Devraj Singh back into the side after serving a 1-match suspension. Gets his head on that one, and in the 5th minute, they were up 1-0 Mona. but it wouldn't go perfect for them after it looked as if it would be a walk in the park at one point. Here was a good opportunity for Sean Layton to take it 2-0 up, but McDonald, who was good after conceding, solid as a rock, was there. There were a few occasions where St. Catherine showed, and here's where they pulled it back. Dwight Gentles, a brace in the first half. This was the first of them. 22nd minute, and the celebration there to get things going. St. Catherine picked up the pace after this one. But Mona, they tried and they searched to get that second goal, that equalizer. Felt as if he should have converted there, Singh, to give them a chance at drawing things back up. Gentles was good. He had a few chances that went to begging. That was one of them. This one chipped inside. Layton got on at the end of this one. Should have converted it, but he was disappointed he didn't. Leaps and bounds above everyone else, unmarked really, but could only put that one wide. Here they came. They were fantastic. This one sent aside from Young and laid on a platter. Just for that man, Dwight Gentles, in the 34th minute, they went 2-1 up. No one saw him coming. But that didn't stop Mona from trying to get that equalizer. Layton into the box. McDonald was good and it fell to Phipps, but McDonald was still there to clean up the mess. And then the return there. Fantastic work for the goalkeeper, who has been good on the day. He's been threatening Layton on the end of every attack that Mona has had. The captain, 27 goals, hasn't gotten one here in this game as yet. But he has been trying and testing the goalkeeper. McDonald has been stern to every test. Fantastic from him. And that is how it ended. 2-1 for St. Catherine at the half. 10 shots for Mona, 7 for St. Catherine. They only had 3 on target, Mona. 2 for St. Catherine. 5 fouls in this one, 3 going to Mona, the other 2 to St. Catherine. 1 yellow card each shown in this one. No red cards yet. But hopefully it stays that way. 3 corners for St. Catherine, 2 more than Mona High. 3 offsides as well for Gentles. 1 for Mona High. And they edge Mona High in the possession, 51% to 49%. Well, before we get going in the second half, let's go to Janae and see what she has for us, or who she has for us.
And it is halftime. I'm with the fans in the stands, and you guys know it is the Walker Cup finals. Now, I got opportunity to steal 2 of the Mona High cheerleaders. Now, they've been really excited for today's match, and they know they think that Mona High will win today. Now, girls, what was the vibes like at school coming up? Because I know, of course, you guys probably been talking about this all week long. So, Chardonnay, tell me, what was the vibes like at school?
Okay, the vibes at school was great, actually. Coming on our way, they played a lot of motivational music, and personally I feel like Mona is going to win. Because they said JC's are the side to play, and this is Mona of win.
All right, you guys are cheerleaders, of course. You guys probably are around the football team a lot, right? So you guys know the players relatively. All right, who is your favorite player on the Mona team? I ask both of you.
Jonaldo Payne.
And?
I have a lot. Can I list them? Okay. Savike, Sean, Jiga, I also like Mighty.
Do you know the positions that they play?
Savike number 7, Sean number 13.
That's not the position, that's the number that they wear.
Oh.
You don't know the number?
Oh, no.
All right, I'll check you back later for that. But guys, before we go, I need a prediction score from both of you, because right now St. Catherine is leading, right? But Mona Pride is really big, and you guys have all the cheerleaders over there. You guys are cheering, having a lot of fun. What is the prediction that you have for today's match?
3-2. Mona with the 3 and the other side with the 2.
All right, and you?
Same. Because we already spoke about this before we come out. I already predicted that on the stand. So, yeah, 3-2.
All right, well, who said that girls don't know football? After the break, we have more football for you.
reason to
be jolly. Fa la 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 la. Deck the halls and da 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 da. Fa la 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 la. Guys, please tell us in the chat, which color are you going for this Christmas season? Are you opening ours here, Natalie?
We are at present 9 to 5 and on Friday and Saturday 9 to 6.
9 to
but as the season goes on or the needs require, we keep it open.
I know we're in the Christmas aisle and all the trees and all the decorations. Run me through some gift ideas because it's still the season of giving. And even for the hurricane relief victims or persons rather, I don't want to say victims, survivors, right? For those persons who would want to buy gifts for, what are some gift items that you would recommend that, Miss Kitty, these are a must get?
Anything in here can work as a gift.
I love it. Well, guess what? The Azan Supercenter family, you are a gift to us and we are here to come and shop. Remember, we have to keep our economy going, guys, because at the end of the day, Jamaica, land we love, we still have to rise and rise again in a strong way. Rebuild strong. We are stronger together, better together. Natalie, thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing all that's here. I've been waiting with bated breath for the container them for Natalie come as a drink. We're gonna shop and we're gonna bring joy to the western end of the island and anyone that has been affected adversely by Hurricane Melissa. But thanks to you and your family for sharing with us and of course bringing us some cheer so that we can lift the vibe and lift the spirit and really get back to who we are as a Jamaican people. Anyone that you'd like to say thanks to at this time?
Yes, the Jamaican people. Thank you for your support throughout the years. We would not be here without you. This is our home and we will rebuild together, stronger and better.
Absolutely.
Because this is our land, the land that we love.
Jamaica, 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 land we love. Azan Supercenter for your home and more.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CBM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Goals to separate these two teams. We've had 3 so far in the first half in this game. At the break, 2-1 in favor of St. Catherine. They are just 45 seconds away, if they can hold on to this lead, from lifting their 3rd Walker Cup title. Mona, they have some work to do. They've been trying it, especially through their captain, Sean Layton, who has 27 goals this season, yet to score in this game. But also he's been having some assistance, not from his usual partner, Savi K. Morton, but from Devraj Singh, who's returning to the starting 11 today. They were forced to change to Cafante Phipps coming in for McFarlane, just to add some depth to the attack. But as we get moments away from the second half, there's no doubt there will be more of the same for the first half. We're at the National Stadium, the office of Jamaican football, as Janae likes to call it. And we prepare to see these two teams fight for destiny. Mona, the defending champions, will love to hold on to this crown, The light blues, though, would like to snatch it back. Off we go for the second half of this one. St. Catherine to get us started. There's Singh, who scored the opening goal of this encounter. He's been threatening time after time. Had a glorious opportunity in the 20th minute to send them up 2-1 at that point. Failed to convert, and now they fell one behind Mona. That's a heavy tackle there.
And that's an early yellow card in the second half. Could hear that collision all the way from our commentary position as well. Really tough one coming in. St. Catherine player on the ground. It's Marlon Jones. He's limping away from the contact. Looks as if he's going to the sideline to try and get some treatment. But I think he'll be okay following that, or not. I'm wondering if he has a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction as well, because he's raced away to the tunnel, Marlon Jones. So St. Catherine temporarily playing with 10 men. We saw this in the first half with Mona and Jonaldo Payne. So can Mona take advantage of this temporary man advantage that they have?
Yeah, losing his footing there, Stewart, and losing possession as well for his team, Leighton. Timothy Jones with a clearance. And a foul given. And the yellow card will be brandished here. That's... Oh, Jay, I think that's a harsh decision. It was a clearance. It wasn't an intentional kick. Here's a look at it again.
Yeah, I think the referee was deeming maybe a little bit of force following the clearance. He left his knee up, went right into the lower back of Sean Leighton. Maybe some unnecessary aggression on the part of St. Catherine and their big burly centre back Timothy Jones.
Yeah, well, Leighton is still down, trying to get some attention here. Here's a look at it again. A clearance there, and then, yeah, just a shove as well to follow the contact with the knee. And Jones going into the referee's book.
Yeah, we know those challenges, any sort of contact towards the base of the back can be so debilitating.
He's writhing in pain, is Leighton. As the medical staff trying to bring some comfort to him.
Mona, of course, gunning for their third schoolboy football title in as many seasons. St. Catherine, they went to the Manning Cup final as mentioned previously. Last season, lost out against Kingston College. Craig Butler up off his seat, trying to see what's going on with his star player, who's still in a lot of pain. Physical trainer trying to ascertain just how bad the issue is. And the stretcher is out for Sean Leighton now. Not a good sign for Mona. And their number 13 turned 17 this season, but has been playing in schoolboy football for the past 4 seasons. Actually, the leading goal scorer overall in urban area schoolboy football. 27 goals to his name, 23 of them in the Manning Cup. Here's a challenge once more. Turned his back on it and then just a knee following right into that lower back of Sean Layton. He's trying to sit up now. We know how bad those knee to back injuries can be. If you would cast your mind all the way back to 2014, if many of you guys were around 2014 World Cup, we saw a star player Neymar get a loose knee to the lower back, which left him out of action for months. So not a joke injury at all, this one. And you can see that by the reaction of Sean Layton, who is a very tough cookie. And Mona already a goal down. They're hoping that they won't be down their star players they try to get back into this game.
Yeah, and he's the man that has created practically all the chances here. We went through the halftime highlights a little early on, and you could see that he did take quite a few shots and was in the midst of, if not all, most of the challenges, well, the chances for Mona. This one sent now into the box. Tussle for it, and Singh comes away with it. Singh is on the right hand side trying to find some way to get this ball back into play. Instead he goes to Martin for Savike Morton. Stripped away by Wallace. Wallace trying to find Phipps. Phipps with it. Phipps with a shot. That's a good block there.
Yeah, massive block. And it was Timothy Jones once more. Referee says no foul there, as the St. Catherine fans now up in arms. Layton still receiving treatment on the Mona bench. Here's a chance once more. It fell to Phipps extremely kindly, but just couldn't fire that one around the defender, who saved his goalkeeper some work to do as well.
McDonald, who's been pretty good despite conceding, quite solid after that moment. This one booted long. Mona, they get the throw. Jones again at the back there with some work.
Challenge is really flying in now. It looks as if Sean Layton will be trying to continue as Devraj Singh tries to pinch that ball high. Will be a goal kick, however, for St. Catherine.
Yeah, that could have been a spot of bother there for St. Catherine High at that moment. Of course, McDonald, who was out of goal. That's not a good pass there at all. So just a bit untidy with their passes out there, as Young files into the box and takes a shot. That one is wide. Robinson advancing off his line early, forcing the shot. And from the time it left his boot, you can tell that it was always going past the far post.
Yeah, Mona left off the hook there. Kadeen Young usually so sure in front of goal. That one trickling wide. Mona on the attack once more, and they have been a man down, but you couldn't tell based on how the game has been flowing the past few minutes. Sean Layton back on the pitch now, but moving extremely gingerly. You can see him there far side of your picture.
Shot comes in. Magnificent. And that is how you get yourself equal to the task. Ronaldo Payne with a rifle. 2-2.
That left foot could not hit that ball any sweeter. I just said that they've been playing a man down for most of this second half, but you couldn't tell whatsoever based on the momentum of proceedings. And that momentum has turned into not only a goal, but a blistering strike to get that goal as well. What a hit that was. Caught St. Catherine completely off guard. And if there was any goal worthy of an equalizer in this game, that was definitely it. What a hit.
Just like that, we're back into right where we started. Gentles' shot was blocked there, but St. Catherine, they fight to keep possession. It's taken away now by Wallace. Wallace puts through Savvy K. Morton over the crossbar.
Massive chance at on the left boot of Savvy K. Morton. He knows he should have done better there. More composure needed. He has the quality to at least hit the target from there. But Mona once more on the charge and seeking out now a lead in this game.
Here's come Singh. Put that back. I'm not sure why, but Phipps gets it now. Crosses it. Tussle there between the sixes, Reed and Brown. Young can't keep that one under his control, and it will go out, and a throw for Mona. They get it back to St. Catherine. A battle for the throws here. Possession stays with St. Catherine now. Henry does well. Tries to find Young. He's stripped. They go the other way. Leighton. Leighton all by himself. Can he finish here? Leighton's. That is pleasant. Poetry in motion, and Dookie is off to the races. 3-2. Mona have the lead.
And you would have thought that they got him out of the game, St. Catherine. After that massive hit they put on his lower back, it kept him out of action for a few minutes. He just needed a slight rest. He's back up now, and he's back doing what he's been doing all season long. And that's being the main man, not only for this Mona team, but quite possibly in all of urban area schoolboy football. And in this final, this massive moment, Sean Leighton, he has risen to the occasion and delivered the goods. Excellent first touch, and he alone had the pace to burst through, and as soon as he was through, you knew he would provide the finish, and provide the finish he did. Mona's number 13, Mona's captain, has given them the lead in this Walker Cup final. It's 3-2.
Well. They always say that it's not over until the fat lady sings. But Mona is showing that one, and they're showing true character as to why they're champions and why they've been champions in different competitions in 2 seasons. And they're going for their 3rd crown in as many seasons as you mentioned before, Lejay. As we pause for a St. Catherine High change, Tevin Gray, he comes in for Josh Reed.
What a start to the second half as well. Drama, goals. We said that it would be quite a barnstormer. We already have 5 goals in the contest. And I can assure you folks, I don't think the scoring is over as yet.
St. Catherine have to dig deep now to find another goal here somehow. That one sent out wide is searching for Marshall and is booted away by Campbell. St. Catherine keep possession, they have a throw-in. This one sent inside by Riley. Did well Robinson to come forward and collect this one. Sends it down now. Leighton is brought down. They win the throw. St. Catherine. St. Catherine now they have Young. Not a good pass there, and it results in possession being taken away. Phipps sends it wide for Leighton again, who brings down the defender. And Marlon Jones wins a free kick in his box. And his attacking third, his defensive third. Here's the first goal scorer. He's down now. He needs some attention to Singh. It gives a chance for the St. Catherine bench to have a word and get themselves back together. Looks like assistant coach Theo Brown is going to have a conversation with his troops. Young is in there. Marshall as well in that huddle. St. Catherine was looking for Gentles. Aerial battle here in the middle of the field. And that's a foul there. Looks like Ronaldo Stewart committing the foul there on Demario Brown. Mona, free kick sent out wide, trying to find Savike Morton. Morton is there. Clattering with McDonald. Nothing comes of it. Phipps fell on that one and his hand somehow touching the ball and goes the other way. St. Catherine. The Light Blues, they have possession now and the free kick.
Yeah, around 25 minutes for them to change around their fortunes. St. Catherine.
That's a lovely turn there by Marshall. Marshall to Gray. Shot comes in. That's wide.
Yeah, never troubling Robinson with that attempt.
Young again. Gray not able to get that one under control and crying for possession there, but instead Marshall will have to give way to the Mona player for a throw-in. Young on that one. Phipps does well to maintain his balance and after that challenge. Brown does well, gets past Jones.
Talk about a tough challenge. Throwing going the way of Mona on their left-hand side. Of course, looking for Sean Layton, the man at this moment, the match winner, the Walker Cup winner for Mona. Couldn't keep that one in play.
That one headed on and dealt with by the Mona back line. St. Catherine now, they have a chance to come forward and cause a threat here. Searching for that equalizer. They still have it, the Light Blues. It's the referee and they call it back. St. Catherine should hold on to possession here, at least momentarily. They do so. Trying to get through there is Gray. Gray sends it in for Young. Still trouble. Should be a corner.
And this deflected effort coming in from Stewart on that right-hand side. First time that St. Catherine have been a real attacking unit or an attacking force since conceding that equalizer early in the second half.
This is cleared away. Mona do well. Gone on a run here. Savike Morton. Layton is charging and coming. Morton, fantastic stuff there.
Yeah, showing some superb skill over there on the left-hand side. Savvy K. Morton. Sure, he was just trying to work just a yard of space so he could whip that in for Sean Layton. Oh, really well done there by Mona's number 7. As a cross comes in, but well claimed. And St. Catherine can launch another attack.
St. Catherine there building up nicely. Shot comes in from Tevin Gray. Throwing for St. Catherine now, who are still on the hunt for that equalizing goal. They are trying to see if they can pull one back and send this one into penalties. Or if they can buy some stunning football we've seen here. Morton with that shot. If they can find 2 goals of light blue and turn this game back on its head again. Remember, 3-2 is a scoreline that both these teams came in with. Mona 3-2 over Charlie Smith. St. Catherine 3-2 over Kingston College in a revenge match, basically, after those two teams met in the 2024 Manning Cup final. So 3-2 may be the universal, or should I say the scoreline in fate for these two teams. Cleared away, falls back to Gray. One is still with Marshall. Marshall gets it back. Still running alongside the edge of the box. Can't turn it back into the middle of the box, and it runs out instead for a goal kick.
Yeah, another time when Mona have defended well and not allowed St. Catherine the space needed to make anything of that attack. As time ticks along. We're now in the 73rd minute of play.
Time for a substitution for Mona. Opening goal scorer Devraj Singh comes off, and in for him Franklin Mitchell.
Babu!
Comfortably dealt with by Howard Robinson. He'll take all the time he can from those small breaks in play. As Mona look to break away here, and they're doing so through Sean Layton.
Layton still has it, threatens to take a shot, finds he's brought down after doing well enough to get away from his marker there, and this is within range.
And what personality and perseverance he has been showing since going down with that injury. Left his leg there to be tapped a bit. It looks as if he's going to brush himself off and prepared to take this set piece as well. Albeit Nathaniel McCarthy is around it as well. But no doubt the favorite for this is Mona's number 13 and their captain.
Six-man wall, it looks like. 5 rather. Matthias is there as well. Shot comes in and that one is agonizingly close. I think it took a deflection and that's a fantastic strike by Leighton.
Yeah, I figured that he was going to try and go for that far side, the goalkeeper's side, as he looked to whip this one into the far corner. The wall ended up doing its job because that, as you said, Gerard, was agonizingly close.
This one whipped in and again
it was Leighton meeting it at the back post, you know. Impossible to mark in that penalty area, especially at this level. But this time he couldn't direct it goalwards, or at least on target.
Leighton again, he's inside the box. Taking on Timothy Jones.
It's actually going to be a throw-in heading the way of Mona.
Aerial battle here going on, and Gray pulls it down finally for St. Catherine, but gives it right back to Mona. Morton on the right-hand side, going on a run. He's brought down and Gray commits the foul.
Yeah, unnecessary foul as well. Was going nowhere in a hurry. Was Savike Morton faced up by two St. Catherine defenders. And they've really let Mona off the hook in that instance, it must be said.
So another free kick here. Morton gives it to McCarthy, who takes a shot, and McDonald wasn't really threatened there, but he wasn't sure, so he had to go for it.
He certainly was interested. Pretty much he had to be as well.
Yeah, it was only dangerous for a moment. St. Catherine still searching, still hunting. Mona defending well, and they're still being as aggressive as we know them to be. Brown went for that one. Instead, it comes down with St. Catherine, but they get it back. Mona. Brown on this one. Passes it to Morton. Morton runs back into the middle of the field and tries a pass. One sent out by Mitchum. Leighton to Phipps. Not cleared away. It is a bad clearance, or attempt at a clearance. Morton comes back with it. Yeah, a sigh of relief there for Henry, who almost let it through. As it's finally cleared away and St. Catherine keep possession. Young gets past Phipps. Passes another challenge, and Brown is forced to bring him down.
Time ticking away now for St. Catherine High. Approaching the 80th minute or around the 80th minute of play. I would say maybe, including stoppages, around 15 minutes to go in this game. A lot can happen in 15 minutes, of course, but Mona defending desperately to keep this lead.
Young was thinking of taking this one, but instead he's sent up by Riley, who's going to deliver this one into the box. Riley with the dink. Young gets it, takes a shot, and blocked by Phipps. St. Catherine keep it. This time they get a corner. What can they do from this set piece? Whipped in by Young. Gray with the shot, and Gray! Honors even. 3-3, and we're right back where we started. Light Blues, they don't give up. 3-3.
Yeah, set piece undoing there of Mona. Failed to clear with any great strength. And once that fell to Gray, he just placed it and made sure he placed it on target. And you are right. We're back where we started. And hold on. Ooh. Savike Morton looking to slide in Sean Layton. Looking for an instant return, an instant impact. So we're all in this game now, and the goals, they really don't just stop. And Gray, well placed shot. Goalkeeper unsighted and couldn't shuffle over in time. This game, I said that the goals weren't finished when they went 3-2. Both teams need one to avoid penalty shootouts at this point.
Foul there on to Shane Riley, and it will go back up the pitch for St. Catherine in their light blue kit made by Soccer Express, who's been fantastic with these different kits that we've seen all season. Mona wearing their traditional cream and red. Almost let through there, and Howard Robinson equal to the task. Yeah, but Soccer Express creating all the kits for schoolwide football, Express Sports sponsoring and supporting the competition. They've been fantastic, and we say thank you to them. Layton was trying to find a way through to Wallace. St. Catherine come the other way now, but the challenge comes in from McCarthy, stopping them in their tracks. Phipps. Layton. Layton goes on a solo run. Layton, one more to get past. You'd say great defending there by Tashane Riley.
Yeah, but he couldn't prevent the corner kick, as Layton trying to do it all on his own. He's put out tremendous effort so far in this game, and the excitement has yet to cease. Corner kick coming up for Mona.
Cross comes in and it's not dealt with entirely. The danger's still there, cleared away now. There's a tussle between the sixes there, but came away with it. Marshall does well. Young almost threw to him, but it was defended by Allen, who gets ahead on it now. Great, the goal scorer. Stewart out wide to Leighton. Couldn't find him though. Instead falling to Marlon Jones, who clears away nicely, but Mona, they come back away with it in the middle of the field. Here comes Stewart again. They still have it, Mona. Morton played forward, and that one cleared away by Allen.
Yeah, yet another corner kick coming up for Mona now. They've scored from one already in this game. They've conceded from one as well. Can this be the way that they find a way back into the lead in this contest?
McCarthy to swing this one in with his left foot. Low cross and poor cross really. And it goes out for a goal kick. You know, this Walker Cup final, 6 goals in it. Has been a thriller really. What finals are made of. Going tack for tack. Mona taking the early lead. Dwight Gentles giving his team the lead going into the break, 2-1, and then just like that, within 10 minutes of the restart, within 15 minutes of the restart, Mona were able to pull 2 back. It has been fantastic, really, and that one is through for Kadeem Young. Young, can he put the dagger on here? No, he can't. And he's frustrated.
Poor KFC. But once again, on that left foot, technique failing him as he dragged that one across the goal inaccurately. Excellent pass it was from Gentles. And he's racing through. He has the speed, he has the time. He was pressured just a bit, but should be doing better there. St. Catherine now in the ascendancy.
Stewart is doing well. Fighting off a challenge from 2 defenders. That one sent aside from Marshall. He couldn't get his head on that one. Young somehow wins the battle, lose it again. St. Catherine come away. Shot from Young, another weak shot, and it goes out. He hasn't been good with the shooting. His finishing has been way off par. Kadeem Young, he's usually better than this. He's their leading goal scorer with 18. But it's not showing here. Swung to the back post. It was danger there momentarily. Cleared away now by Mona. Phipps with a bigger challenge there. Young on this one. Young does well, goes down. And the foul given. Phipps is also down. So 2 players on the carpet here. Young is up, preparing to take this free kick, but Phipps is still down. Remember, he's a substitute, came on in the first half, replacing Skylar McFarlane. he'll get some attention now as the players go back to their benches momentarily. Yeah, he's taking a breather, Howard Robinson. It has been a tough day at the office for him.
Last bit of instructions from both coaching staffs as we prepare for crunch time in this game.
Let's look at the goals. First one coming in from Devraj Singh. It was a pretty good header. The first 3 goals in this one, all in the first half, all by the head. This was Gentles. He returned the favor. And then in the 34th minute, sent them 2-1 up. Young on a good run, one time into the box, and all he had to do was slot it home. Second half, the other 3 goals that came out. This rocket here from the number 4, Ronaldo Payne, in the 55th minute, and just 4 minutes later, Sean Layton, who was off the field for about 5 minutes at that point. Gray, the substitute for St. Catherine, will pull it back though, 3-3. 6 goals so far. That's how they came. Young on the end of this one.
This might be a very big chance for St. Catherine. Free kick is in a good position for these players.
Young.
He certainly tested Robinson. Tipped it onto the crossbar.
Yeah, the 4 defenders there dealing with it eventually. Matthias clears now. Allen. Young gets it back for St. Catherine. Young gives it off to Maxwell. Marshall. His shot is blocked, and it will go out for another St. Catherine corner. Allen getting back that time to do the cleaning up.
These set pieces, so difficult to defend late on in this game.
This one's swinging. Mona come away with it.
Only temporarily.
St. Catherine get it back through Henry. Henry. Oh, that was pretty close, you know. Not a good clearance there by Robinson.
And in the end, Mona survive and the throw-in goes their way.
Yeah, Robinson goes down now. He'll need some treatment. Yeah, you can see the tired legs on these players now. As Howard Robinson gets his attention, you can see though they're weary. They have to hold on a bit. Savike Morton with his hands on his knees, indicating just how tired these legs are, Leger.
Well, they need to get some freshness in those legs, as it looks as if at this current moment that we will be heading to a penalty shootout. Looks as if we're seeing some Jamaica College fans making their way into the stadium.
Yeah, they're coming in for the feature game. Feature final. The Manny Cup later on against Excelsior, who are on the hunt for a title. Mona, though, on the hunt for a go-ahead goal. A possible late winner. They don't get it on that occasion. Wallace upset with that one. Thought Mitcham should have done better there. Here comes a goal kick to the middle of the field. Gray, the man who gave them their third equalizer. Young goes down now and a foul is given.
Probably fouled around 2 or 3 times in that sequence. I'm wondering if St. Catherine are prepping a goalkeeper change ahead of a possible penalty shootout. You see their substitute goalkeeper, Heron Lamey, being warmed up.
This one comes in and it almost fell to Stewart, who keeps it in. Gray sends this one, or attempted to, in the box. Instead, it goes into the back of Savike Morton. Henry. Stewart dances around that challenge from Martin. Gets past another defender. Sends this one into the edge of the box and is cleared away momentarily. St. Catherine, though, they come away with it still. Riley leaves Mitcham sat. Follow up there, not good enough, but touch there. Got into the path of Marshall, who thought would have taken a shot there. So some miscommunication with Young and Marshall resulted in Mona coming away with the ball. 4-on-3 here. Leighton with the shot, and that was another close call. McDonald had a heavy breath there for 1 minute, but a sigh of relief followed after he saw it go over the crossbar.
Yeah, on his last leg, Sean Leighton as well. I won't say it was a massive chance, but it certainly was a big one. A bit of gamesmanship there from St. Catherine, as they actually are preparing to make that change. Lamey, their backup goalkeeper, will be coming on. Their centre back took that goal kick quicker than they wanted. So calling the goalkeeper to sit down so he can get the change. And this is certainly with penalty kicks in mind.
Yes, the substitution will be made momentarily. As McDonald goes down for some assistance. There's a substitution now. Heron Lamey. Can he be the hero? Can he help his team to hold on? McDonald has been absolutely fantastic on the day. Conceded 3 times, yes, but has been solid for the most part. There he is. McDonald, he'll take his exit from the game now. And Lamey will take his position in the goal. Leighton has it. So there's the final whistle, and we're still even. 3-3 at the end of regulation. We're not yet through with this Walker Cup final, and it will go straight to penalties. The dreaded kicks. Goals is what it would have taken. We knew that coming into this game, and goals, they delivered 6 of them. The defending champions, if they want to hold on to this, they'll have to work a little bit harder. It started with Mona coming up with a few couple shots of their own, putting McDonough to the test early. Their first goal came in the 5th minute. Devraj Singh back into the starting 11 and back on the goal sheet. Fantastic way to get things started, open the scoring with that one. They had a few chances though to go 2-1 up, well, to go 2-0 up. Didn't quite take advantage of them. This was the first of it. Sean Layton got through there, his weaker left foot, taking a shot with that one, and McDonough was equal to the task. This is where they'll get their first goal. Easy as you like, Dwight Gentles. In the 22nd minute, putting the Light Blues on the score sheet for the first time this game. And then they continued. We thought that at that point they would have gone 2-1 up. Mona had Singh done better. He could have had his brace there. More shots came in the first half. Layton was also a part heavily of trying to get them the go-ahead. He missed out on that opportunity, although he was good. But eventually, they would take the lead, the Light Blues, as all champions know how to do. This one delivered inside by Caden Young. And who but that man in the 34th minute, Dwight Gentles, to take control of it, convert it simply, and move to 16 goals this season. 2-1 at the break. Layton, he did desperately try to get his team forward. This shot was probably the best that they had at the end of the first half, but McDonald was fantastic. They kept on trying. Layton was a part heavily of every chance that they had. And even if he couldn't convert, he tried to set up his teammates. But he was solid as a rock, McDonald. Second half now, it didn't take that much longer for us to get back with the goals tallying. This rocket here of a shot coming in from the number 4, Jonaldo Payne, in the 55th minute, sent Mona back on level terms. And then Captain Fantastic in all his glory. 28 goals this season now. Sean Layton. He responded in the 58th. 3-2 at that point. Gray came on as a substitute and delivered the goods. Just when St. Catherine were starting to sweat a little heavier on their brows, he wiped it away with this goal. They were comfortable at that point. 3-all. That is how it would end. Young had a chance to make it 4. His shooting was not clinical on the day. Disappointing really for them. And you felt like he could have converted that one. But he also had another chance with this free kick, and it was kept out by Howard. 3-3 is how it would end. And it was a shooting affair between the two teams. 17-15 for St. Catherine High. They only had 4 on target. Mona High 6, 12 fouls, 7 for St. Catherine, 12 for Mona. 2 yellow cards each team, and 7 corners for St. Catherine to Mona's 3 offsides as well, all to Dwight Gentles. 52% of the possession, 1 better than the first half, 48% for Mona. 3-3 Ixlocktat. As we prepare for penalty kicks, both of these teams.
And it will be Mona taking first. Sean Layton, their captain. A reminder that when a team takes first, scores first, they win a penalty shootout over 67% of the time. Can Sean Layton give Mona that advantage now?
Steps up, scores. He did get a touch to it. Lamy. But not enough to parry it away, and Mona, they draw first blood.
Yeah, that's what they brought him in for, to save some penalties, and he gets right. It was a good height for him as well, but it was strong enough to find the back of the net, and Mona 1-0 up.
Marlon Jones steps up for St. Catherine High. They've been a part of 4 shootouts since 2019. They've won all 4 of those shootouts. They had 1 this season in this competition, winning that one as well. Campion College, they defeated your alma mater on that occasion, Leger.
Don't remind me.
He converts 1-1. Honors even as the game goes. That was Layton's penalty, and a lovely response there by Marlon Jones. Have us locked at 1 each. Savi K. Morton steps up. And finishes.
Yeah, goalkeeper rooted on that occasion. You know, people always get caught up in the discourse on whether or not a penalty is a good one. Any penalty that finds the back of the net, especially in a scenario like this, is a good one. And Savi K. Morton finds the back of the net to give Mona a 2-1 lead in the shootout.
The captain for St. Catherine, Jordan Matthias, up next to take this one. Can he lead from the front and deliver something special for his team and keep them level in this shootout? He does. Robinson guessed right, but just out of reach. Perfect penalty.
Yeah, tried his best, but struck well enough, firmly enough, 2-2 in the shootout. Both captains now have scored.
Nikon Allen up next for Mona High. Had a decent game defensively. Can he convert now? No, that one is safe. And Lamy comes up big for his team. Still 2-2, but now St. Catherine have a chance to go ahead.
Yeah, good save. Not placed well, that penalty. Too central. Goalkeeper Lamy does what he was brought on to do, and he's made a big save in the shootout. Now it's up to St. Catherine to take full advantage and take the lead.
To Shane Riley to take this kick. Howard Robinson now, he'll be in the back of his mind knowing that he needs to come up with a big save here. Riley. Robinson delivers. Mona, they can feel it.
Opted for the short run up. He wasn't tricking Howard Robinson. And the dejected to Shane Riley made that one easy. And that's a big time save for Robinson. It's level, still. 2-all. Mona with a chance to reclaim the lead here.
Nathaniel McCarthy, the smallest man on the field. Probably you need to put Phipps beside him to see if that's the case. Another save from Lamy. Heron Lamy is doing just what he's been asked to do. And he's keeping St. Catherine in this one. Another chance for them to go ahead.
A man so usually reliable from set pieces. Tried to place that one in the corner, but it was a comfortable height once more for Lamy. And he makes another save. It's Gentles now who makes no mistake. St. Catherine up.
3-2 for them. 4 kicks completed for each team.
And Mona has to score this to remain in with a shout.
Gentles wasting no time on that occasion with getting his shot off. Wonderful penalty that. A brace for him on the day. And he delivers again big time for his team. Payne scored in the 55th minute to take his team up. And he makes no mistake with this one.
And now it will be Kadeen Young. The last penalty, the final penalty, possibly in this shootout. As we see Payne's. Will it be pain or will it be joy for Mona? Kadeen Young, St. Catherine's number 10, can he deliver the 3rd Walker Cup crown for the team from Johns Road, Spanish Town? Or can Mona stay alive?
He scores it. And the title returns to St. Catherine. They came up short last year. This season, they're all smiles. Light blue dominance. Taking the crown back from Mona. And they've now won their 3rd crown. Their 2nd of the decade. And they're asserting their dominance as knockout specialists. Heartbreak for Mona. They came so close. They were up in the 58th minute and they felt as if they could have held on at that point. But the ball is round. And this is why we love this game. Kadeen Young delivering joy for his team and their supporters, taking glory back to St. Catherine. They celebrate with their supporters. And no doubt, about why they're happy. 2019, 2021, 22, and now 2025. St. Catherine, they feel on cloud 9 here. There's the man that delivered big for them. And he deserves to celebrate every moment of it, as to his team. It started with Sean Layton taking the first penalty, and he put his team up, giving them the advantage, and calmly so. Marlon Jones kept them in it before it was Savike Morton to put them up. Matthias kept them level at 2 apiece, but this was the first big save here by Haron Lamy, who came in to deliver just that, but wasn't able to take advantage of it, as Tashane Riley was saved by Howard Robinson. He went down immediately. The Carty though, dead ball specialist, not this time. Lamy set up an advantage again that Dwight Gentles took control of. And then immediately, Kadeem Young followed up Naquan Allen, followed up Janalo Payne with a goal, and delivering glory and success for his team. They're off to the races, and the title is off to Spanish Town. Scenes here. The National Stadium has seen brilliance. 1 penalty shootout. They have not lost a penalty shootout in 5 shootouts now since 2019, St. Catherine. They add this one to their roster and their 3rd title to the cabinet. Janae Robinson, she's standing by with the coaches. Let's hear from them.
Coach Craig Butler's philosophy, he always believes that Phoenix soar. And what I recognize about the boys is at the end of the match, despite losing, their heads were still high. Their first response was to hug each other, comfort each other. Can you talk to me just about how proud you are of their off the field persona more than their on the field persona?
They had a good season. We took it to the ultimate game, but it didn't happen for us. It's penalty. It can go either way. Brought me back to the Premier League final year where I lost the game on penalty, so I would know how it feels. Some of them are doing it for the first time, but we have to say kudos to the staff, the backroom staff, Craig Butler and his vision, school Mona, the principal, teachers, everyone has been excellent in the support for us. The players, we have to lift our hats off. They played a good game. We chased the game, We took the lead, and then we gave up a soft goal, but we fought to the end. So it argues well for the future. 95% of these players can return, so it's important for us to go forward and hold our heads up.
I'm glad that you brought that up, Coach, because in the match, after each goal, it was almost like it was the biggest celebration, like it was the biggest goal of their lifetime. What was the pre-match talk? What was something that you told them before coming into today's encounter that you want them to walk away with?
We wanted to win, and we wanted to win for everyone. We wanted to win for the school, our families, the sacrifice that they made. So we had only one thing in our mind, to win the cup, the silverware for the school. But as I said, in the end, they showed character. And this argues well for the future. The culture that Butler has put here, it has been a wonderful level. And Casey can tell you more about it. She's even closer to him and his vision. And I'm just proud of everyone and the hard work that we put in.
Casey, I've seen you take up the mantle from your father, and you've done a very good job with the boys. Now, as we speak about the future of the program at Mona High, what can we look forward to? Because this year it was a Walker Cup, last year it was a Walker Cup finals. What else is it that you guys want to accomplish for the seasons ahead?
Well, for the seasons ahead, obviously we'd want to win the Manning Cup and the Oliver Shield. Hopefully we would go for that trophy, and just over everything we prioritize getting these players opportunities. So we utilize the Manning Cup and Mona and everything and the Premier League, Chapelton Maroons, as a medium to really do that. So I'm glad we had this opportunity, and the ball is around. It was just luck of the draw, but our camaraderie is not to be questioned, and I'm very proud of the team's performance today.
Thank you. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the future.
Thank you, guys. I don't know who they bring this.
Yeah, time to take you through the presentation now. Dwight Gentles, a man who had 2 on a day in this final. "16 goals this season, came in the match with 14. And he scored a penalty. Coaching staff. They're celebrating. That was assistant coach Theo Brown getting his award there on behalf of the coaching staff. Now the medals awarded to the runners-up. Mona High. Shenik Dunchi making the presentation on behalf of sponsors Wasinco. Yeah, they played and they fought hard in this game. They had a moment of brilliance, overturning a 2-1 deficit at the start of the second half, 15 minutes in, and they were leaders. Their captain, Sean Layton, the man who delivered that third goal, possible game winner up until the 81st minute. And even though it's heartbreaking for them, I'm sure that they would be happy with the character that they showed in this game. Donovan Duke's men. This could have been the third consecutive season that they've won a title, winning their first Manning Cup title 2 seasons ago. Last season, winning this title for the first time in their school's history. Would have liked to become the 6th team to retain this title in consecutive years. Kingston College, St. George's College, Jamaica College, Rumors, St. Catherine, the other teams to do it. But they weren't successful this time. They're the runners-up. They pose for a photograph. Team that showed character. Their captain went down for about 6 minutes, came on and made immediate impact. Yeah, now it's all about the champions. They'll get their rewards for winning this one. St. Catherine High have been fantastic. Andre Roper, brand manager of Restaurants of Jamaica, presenting the awards there to the St. Catherine High team. Marshall missed his penalty, but it didn't prove too much for them. Green, the man who got the goal that sent this game into penalties. Young, the man who sealed it in the penalty kick-out. Matthias, the captain, who also scored his penalty, leading from the front. St. Catherine have been good. 5 penalty shootouts now they've won since 2019. They had one in this competition. Anthony Patrick, a man who knows all too well how it is to win titles. 2 with Bridgeport, now 3 with St. Catherine High. Particularly in the Walker Cup. His coaching staff beaming with pride. Here you are, your 2025 Walker Cup champions, the Light Blues, St. Catherine. They've waited 3 seasons to get their hands back on a trophy. And after last season's disappointment, they relish in this season's redemption. And that is it for the curtain raiser on this finals day in the urban area. The Walker Cup heading back to Spanish Town. And it's thanks to this man, who is our top striker, sponsored by Burt's Auto Parts. Dwight Gentles came into this game with 14 on the season and delivered 2 of the best today. That was the first one in the 22nd minute to get them back on level pegging after going 1-0 down, and then on the stroke of halftime, or rather 34 minutes in, delivered another goal to send them 2-1 up in the end. 3-3 at regulation time, and he converted a penalty to help this moment. St. Catherine High are champions again in schoolboy football. Well, that's it for the first game. Take a break now. We come back with the big one, the Manning Cup final, which will feature 31-time champions Jamaica College up against Excelsior High, who are 7-time champions. That should be a cracker. But in the end, heartbreak for Mona Pride and joy for St. Catherine.
CVM Television is the official broadcaster of ISA Schoolboy Football 2025. Unauthorized recording, broadcast or streaming of matches or related events is strictly prohibited.
This is Jamaica's season for giving thanks for what matters. It's the time to show up, be there for each other, and to feed our hope for a brighter tomorrow. Celebrate being together with a KFC festive feast. Get the new festive 9 bucket. Proceeds from each festive feast purchase go towards hurricane relief. KFC is finger licking good.
Azan Super Center, you can fill your Christmas list.
It's a Christmas to remember. Get ready for Azan Super Center's Super Sale. From now until Christmas, experience the sale event of the season with incredible savings and super deals. Come get your decorations, lights, gifts, and all the best items for your Christmas party. Why ship when you can shop at Azan Super Center? Our sale is on, so why wait for freight?
So this Christmas, make it Azan Super Center for sure.
It's a lifestyle.
Crispy, creamy, what a catch, so tasty. What a catch, with a caramel center. What a catch, and so much chocolate, ooh yeah. First it's crispy, then it's creamy, with so much chocolate, smooth and milky. And when you go a little deeper, you find caramel, ooh yeah. What a catch. increase the tempo. Come on, through shake and go. Flavors feel nice, nutrition for your lifestyle. Come on, through shake and go. The net we are keep. Schoolboy football season a keep. Come on, through shake and go. Try these delicious new flavors today. Chocolate, vanilla, peanut, and butter pecan. Come on, through shake and go.
The Chris and Charles Merry Money Mania loan promotion. This Christmas, borrow big and win bigger. Get $1.5 million or $2 million in loans at special reduced rates, plus a chance to win your share of $1 million. And new customers get double entries. The promotion runs from October 15 and is now extended to January 30, 2026. Visit any Chris and Charles branch or chrisandcharles.com for details. Chris and Charles, making life merry again. Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Hey there, thanks guys. Listen, I'm so excited to be out of studio today, and typically, I'd be out for the food, but I'm okay because they still have me in a space where I'm extremely happy. I am going to be talking about home and sprucing up our space for the Christmas right here with Singer. So stay with me, let's find out what's going on in store. Beautiful. Don't you guys just love Christmas? This nice bed.
Hey, how are you, girl?
How are you?
Oh, my.
Good to see you.
Yes, I saw you looking at my beautiful Christmas tree, girl.
Listen, not only am I looking at it, I'm excited to hear what you guys have going on. Because a little birdie told me that for Christmas, Singer is doing something very special for customers. Talk to me about it.
Yes, we're doing something extra special. Like our Frigidaire